My name is Louie Palacios II, but I go by Louie the Singer when I do music. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I'm from a small neighborhood out there called Diamond Hill in the north part of town. It's different. Where I grew up was nothing but minorities, it was blacks and Mexicans. Like uh, we had white people in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, but it was predominantly that. Not e- not everybody was dead poor, but we didn't really have bread like that. The opportunities given to me. Like, I was 18. I lived in LA. I ran with a manager out there, and had an artist development deal. Real young, Play-N-Skillz, the Grammy Boys. I caught a deal with them when I was 22. You know, so just really getting opportunities to work with big people and stuff like that. It had its ups and downs. It was always mainly my fault. Me being young and immature when it came to like opportunities, like just being out too late more in LA, being late to meetings, not showing up to meetings, like, and that's being honest. Like, I have meetings with people you would never even dream of, and just being young, I kind of fucked them over, you know, real young. But you know, I learned a lot from them. Like, I've toured other countries with them. I've seen them deal with artists. You know, when I was signing them, they was working and releasing songs that they had wrote, and with David Guetta, Usher, Ludacris, Flo Rida, Nicki Minaj, like real big artists, you know what I'm saying? And just to be a part of that. Yeah, I was in the Daddy Yankee video with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I flew to Florida with them, stayed in the mansion with all these people, and we thugged it out like as a squad, but it was, you know, running with them, it was different because, you know, we got Daddy Yankee showing up, we got the girls, the dancers. I was the one that helped choreograph the original video. I opened up my friend's dance studio on Fort Worth Studio 74. Like, there was just so much, and we had the girls training. There was just so much with Play-N-Skillz to the point where it was like I learned the ins and outs. Skills was the music, play was the business, and I just learned how to catch a snake real quick when it came to this music shit, man. Because it's the same shit with the streets. It's just different product, drugs and money. You know what I'm saying? Drugs and money and music is that's the only thing that's different. It's the only thing that's there. Still snakes and niggas trying to get you. And play helped me figure a lot of that shit out quick. I keep it real. Like, a lot of the times I was in the back of those rooms, you know, when I would hear people talk about other people, and it's not just like this local rapper talking about this. Like, it was like this big Grammy producer saying something about this radio person now. Now they're not involved with each other, and now they can't do their events at this club now because this dude just said he didn't like him. And it really be like that. It'd be like, it's not about, people always like this, to me, this is how I feel. Everybody likes to say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. I feel like it's not about who you know, it's about how you know them. Because I've met some people in the industry multiple times before when I was at an independent, which I'm independent again, but when I was independent the first time before them, off the LA deal, I would always run into these people like Frankie J and, you know, people like that were, you know, big in my eyes too, and to a lot of people. And when I finally met them through Play-N-Skillz, then it was like, oh, that's who you are. And then it was like, okay, so it took me that introduction to be noticed, but it just be like that, you know. It's politics is 75% of it. I like it. I mean, I don't really like even look at myself and what I'm surrounded on, like as far as like culture wise, because I feel like culture is really just waves. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if you think about it, like there's still like a b-boy culture, like where these niggas is dancing to like 80s music and James Brown records and breakdance competitions. Like, it's a real thing. I was at a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real thing. Like, if people go there, I've seen it. People do not even know that that exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they show up and they're like, man, this fool's like got elbow pads on. He's flying. He's oh my god, he just spun on his head. And it's like, yo, and it's like, yo, what's good? Hey, yo, what's good, homie? How you been? And man, love, man, and it's like a whole different culture, you would say, but it's happening now. You know, so I don't even really look at a culture like that. I just kind of look at, I'm just comfortable with what I'm doing, like, because I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say technically since October of 2017. I, you know, bonded out on a drug charge, and it was just real hard because it kind of, you know, affected a lot of things. And but yeah, since about October 2017, I can't do shows. Like, I can't just show up and do stuff like that. Like, I knock out features, and I get money off of, like, you know, streams and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily have to be in people's faces. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to, expand and move around. I got opportunities to do certain things. I can't even record sometimes because, like it's hard for me to move around, and it just hurts knowing that it's gonna happen one day. Man, I got an EP that I want to drop within the probably next month, within the next month. I want to say 2 weeks, but I uh, I definitely want to get involved in a lot of more videos because I've been shooting my own videos. You know what I'm saying? So being a part of that part is like really getting to paint a picture because you really be surprised how many people appreciate the fact that you wrote half the screenplay and the script and then the acting in the videos. Like there's plenty of artists acting, but name them in Dallas that are really sitting there just on the phone with some dramatic stuff rather than, yo, hit my line, we finna hit the track. All right, we run it back. I'll get the guns. Like, that's cool, man. Like, you just played the easiest role of America. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I want people to put some emphasis on their structure, some emphasis on their art. Like, and that's where I'm at with going forward into the future with my music. Just showing more, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I did. So let me tell y'all some stories and, you know what I'm saying, and paint y'all some pictures. If you like them, stick around and watch. If you love them, stay around and listen, Me and my mom are really close. My mom had me young. My mom was pregnant in high school, like had me before she graduated type. Um, we've had our ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? But the first time I had got locked up for dope, for some drugs and like a stolen car, I was 17, I was in '07. So we've always had problems. I went to 12 high schools, you know what I'm saying? My mom was always at all of them. Keep it real with you, my mom, in all honesty, my dad was only at one third-party hearing at all that, right? I had 2 POs by the time I was 16, man. And me and my mom's relationship kind of like oiled bad ways. Yeah, at 17, she kicked me out of the house. I was homeless at 17. Spent 2 weeks by myself. I had thrown that and held that over her head for a long time. In 2 weeks, like, I don't mean like homeless, like couch to couch. I mean under Lancaster Bridge fighting for a sleeping bag with some old dude. Because it was gone, like real shit. My cousin Tank ends up finding out about it. He ends up taking me into his house. They caught me sleeping at Echo Lake in the South Side. And my mom always held that over her head as a young mother. And with me being the oldest, I was kind of like the test dummy, the crash dummy. And I understand now that I'm a father, I got a 9-year-old. It's my oldest, so I'm already starting to understand that there's a whole other human being that I'm going to have to try and structure and make him do things I want to, and he's not going to want to do it if it's not really him. And that's how it was with her. And my father and me were like damn near brothers. Like, we're damn near brothers. Like, he had a lot to do with my music. Whenever I would do certain things, like, he would keep it real. Like, he'd be like, man, that rapping shit cool, dude. Anybody could do that, man. Anybody, man. I can rap about a gun. It goes, but why would you do it if you're really doing it? You know what I'm saying? And he always had slick shit like that to say, and he'd always be like, man, why you carry that gun with you, man? Man, we going here such and such. Well, shit, it sounds like you don't need to be there if you need the gun. You know what I'm saying? It always made sense, but he had something to do with the music. So when I would start singing on records, like, not like, not the hard shit, like the hard old school Sam Cooke, really just giving them type records. And he would be like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And he was real motivational when it came to my music and shit. And he would even sometimes be like, man, it's alright, it's like too much hood shit, man. And he'll even put it on Facebook. I remember I read it one time. He said, just share him out of support. And the other ones that were like jamming R&B 90 ones that he liked, he's like, this shit banging. Check out my son shit, man. And it was dope. But the thing about him was, I chose a different path when it came with the dope, and it was hard. I can't really like get into specifics of how he passed, but let's just say that it was like almost like the biggest karma in my life, because I'm about to lose time of my life due to my contribution in the streets, I guess you could say. And the same thing damn near took him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's crazy how life really works. And then before you know it, you're top 10 most wanted in the city on a poster going around the internet. Your mother's getting these in messages, and she's not liking it. My grandmother knows. Bounty hunters are at my different family members' houses for months. Gang units running into clubs that they know where I'm at, asking DJ Nova, club owners and promoters and managers, bartenders that know me. Where has he been in here? Where's he been? They're watching my live. They're watching my my social media. My mother went through hell with all this, and now it's all like reoccurs back to being involved in everything I shouldn't have been. You know, my dad had a job his whole life, a regular job his whole life. He got caught up with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Of course, like everybody. But my dad worked in oil rigs and he was a truck driver. Before that, he was a waiter when I was one type shit. Like, my dad always had a job. I mean, at this point, it don't matter what nobody thinks is fair because I've seen people in that courtroom that I know for a fact, you know, once you get to talk to people, you know what I'm saying, and you know what the hell happened, you know for a fact they didn't do some dumb shit or if it was just very belittled. I done seen them niggas get time. At this point, it doesn't matter who thinks or knows or what they feel is fair. Like, I think that at this point, I'm embarrassed by it, you know what I'm saying? You know what's weird is like, I see kids like TK and stuff like that, young cats, and they glorify shit like that. And in my head, I'm like, man, like, if they glorify all this thing about nigga, like street shit, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, everybody could be like, man, well, it seems like you're still, like, nigga, first off, I couldn't get a job because I couldn't keep my hands to myself. So I made money one a certain way. And not to throw certain things under the bus, but when you're a young man and you're promised money in a weird way by these music people and you sign deals and then it don't go that way, you have to go back to that money. And when you go back to that money, you start seeing a real life. And, you know, to be honest with you, nobody over here was pushing chump change, you know? So I was addicted to the money and the rush. And now it paid even, like, everything that was good about it is 10 times negative about it. Like, it's that much worse now that everything is crumbling down. They say fast money, go fast. Like, I had it. Like, if you go to music videos, some of those were actually my houses. You know, apartments, different. Those are my spots, those lofts. I don't even remember having the money. That's how quick it went. And I spent years having fun. You know, and now like my kids are suffering. You know, this wanted poster is going to be on the internet forever. My son's probably seen it. He knows my situation. Like seeing my son is hard because my family knows my situation. I got to meet up at parks. I get to keep him at night. You know, in certain hotel rooms. Like this shit's not. It's not what nobody wants. And I'm still making money off music, and I'm still making money. And it's really like a circle, a hole I put myself in. I've got plenty of favorite ones, you know what I'm saying, of course, because I'm an artist. But one of my favorite ones, I say favorite out of like just pure fun, Party. Party. It was my first song back, and it was, you could have done it. It was my phone. It was my first song back, and after that, before that, it had been 5 years, and I did release music, and then we released a song called Party. It was a remake of Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It. Then we ended up shooting a video at my house. We did a party with G-Spooks 97.9 The Beat. We did an interview at 97.9. I had homie that helped out with the record up there. We took an interview and everything, and after that, it was just, we was back on track from there. I think we were like, from my first song, it was like 40,000 views the first night, like, and it was just boom. It was like, yo, Play-N-Skillz artist dropped it, but it was awesome because it was dope to say, yo, I'm independent, you know, like, I'm not signing nobody no more. Find me on all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that. Louie the Singer, LouieTheSinger. Man, you listen to the music, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, anywhere you can stream music, type in my name.